Hi, this is BTRADES, and I'm going to do a quick trade review of today, which is Thursday, January 29th, 2026. We had a massive sell-off after just edging all-time highs in the pre-market, and we're going to jump into the charts right now. We opened up here around 70.10, and we pushed up actually into that big seller of 1,500 contracts back from the pre-market on January 13th. And it's the same one that I had mentioned in the podcast that I did with Trading Nut. And you can see the reaction that we had from that defense. And this is something that had happened two other times previously where we got to this level and rejected heavily. And from here, actually, we ended up selling off $110 on ES. And another clue was that in my pre-market analysis, I had mentioned that the cloud was flattening and getting thin, which makes it actually primed to break. A trending cloud is much stronger resistance and support than a flat or thin one. So really, we had a slight long bias from the open, but when we had this big bearish 5 minute candle form, leaving this inefficiency in the level. And then another clue was halfway through this candle, there appeared on the trade detector a massive order, which is the biggest one we've had in a few weeks, 500 contracts to sell. And the way that I filter these orders for taking trades is I want to see continuation of around $10 from where the print happened. So this was at 88, and then we pushed down to 73. So we pushed $15 away, and then when we revisited the level, it defended. You can see that we only had a wick, but there was no 5 minute candle closure above where this print took place. So you can see this rejection here pushed price another $80. And so this was off the cloud. Technically not a B zones trade, but the bounces off of the cloud, I think you can kind of stretch the rules a little bit and having the confirmation of this large aggressive seller. So that gave us one, two, three, four, five levels. And if you wanted to wait for something that fits within the system a little bit better, you can see that we had this retracement here. And then if I took a measured move from where the aggression was to the bottom of this initial push, and then I put it over here from the top of the retracement, and that gave us almost exactly the low of day. We ended up actually creating liquidity and then sweeping 6,900, which is a psychological level. So this here was a B zones trade because we did take internal liquidity with this wick. We took this one by 25 cents. So from here, one of my members, actually Nahom, took this trade two levels down with one ES contract for $850 to pass an eval today. And then I got in this trade, but I only just took one level. And then you can see here we had a bit of a retracement from this low. So this was another trade that was presented. And then finally this one. So this wick here took out these two opens and then pushed down through the level, taking out from internal liquidity to external liquidity. And then at this point, um, the risk to reward for shorting is really not good. We're so far overextended from the cloud, and you can see this we're reverting back to mean now, back to these moving averages. Here's the 20-day, here's the 5 day from SPY. And if we go back and look at the B zones chart, um, you can see that we're actually have returned to the location of the Bulls' failed auction. So that's very clean price action. If we are going to get a continuation, it makes sense that we would retrace this push back to the previous place where Bulls had tried. So at this point, we're either going to return all the way back to near the open or revisit these lows. I don't see us staying here. We're right around VWAP as well, but I would think more than likely we're going to get into in between those two moving averages that I had showed earlier. But we will see what happens at this point. But those are the trades today. We started with like a fairly neutral bias, but once we saw the aggression from the bears, along with that very large market order, we shifted to a bear bias, and everyone took shorts and everyone ate. Um, if you want also to be able to filter your trades, I've created a Google document template for a pre-trade checklist that you can go through. And if you take a look here, all you have to do is go on to my bio.site/btrades and sign up for the email list, and I'll send you this template. You can make a copy of it and rename it and save it in your own Google Drive. But here it shows all these things that you have to check off before you can take a trade, and then it'll give you an execution score, and then it actually does give you a grade as well. But the interesting thing about this checklist is the grade is not based on P&L, but rather your process. So if you've checked off all these boxes, like is there internal liquidity taken? Are we not overextended? Are we aligned with the cloud bias? Are we trading from a 5 minute inefficiency in a level? Are we targeting previous day value area? Which we went through several previous day value areas today. Those are great targets. And then it tells you whether or not you should execute based on uh, whether or not you have these prerequisites filled out. And then later on, I'll start filling this out. I just finished this last night. Once I have more trades on here, it's going to be a little bit easier to understand. And then on the second tab, I have a consistency tracker. And this thing can be used to compile 20 different prop accounts. And then if you need to track your consistency, like if you have a straight to funded account that requires a 20% consistency, it'll track everything here. And all of the accounts will compile your daily P&L here. And then also each account P&L will be shown in this box. So this is set up currently to um, add up profits from 20 different prop accounts and keep track of all the consistency rules and your buffer and your drawdown threshold. And also this is all free. If you want to take a look, just go on to the bio.site/btrades. I'll show you right now. And down here, if you just fill out this email list and submit it, I'll get you that template. I'll send it right over to you. And you also will get pre-market analysis and these daily videos emailed to you every day. Um, Also, if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, there is a application here for mentorship. I only do 10 at a time, so the spots are limited. If you're interested, there's a Google form you can click here at the bottom of the spreadsheet. It's also linked here on the BTRADES website. And then there's also another option that I have is if you use this template and you want me to review your trades and give you feedback, there's a 10 trade review package. I'm gonna go ahead and switch. There's a 10 trade review package where I will review your 10 most recent trades that you've documented following the B trades template, pre-trade checklist template, and then give you that feedback. I'll write up a whole 2 page summary of what I think you can do to improve and how you can maybe avoid some of the losing trades or whatever your specific issues might be. And if you can show me that you've earned a prop firm payout within 30 days and are willing to come on and do a Zoom interview, you'll get a complete refund of the $250 that you paid. So I think it's a win-win situation, especially if you're already profitable and just looking to gather a little bit more edge. I think I can definitely help you with that. Anyway, guys, thanks for checking in today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Aloha.